Well, wow, what an incredible week for trading with the volatility that we've seen, and this is where I think it's going to be interesting if you start to you're somebody that likes to watch the financial news stations. I love watching this time when things get really, really dicey. They start to run for the technicians. I love it because it's it's kind of interesting because they don't know why it's starting to do what it's doing, but all along we have at least a game plan and a good understanding of what's going on. I would prefer to know what important levels are what, and then I know, hey, this is what could be happening, and it's going to continue, and it couldn't continue till this time. To me, that makes a lot more sense. But anyway, we really had some very interesting action, and a lot of times, sometimes people really who don't know technical analysis enough, or more skeptical or whatever, because they're more comfortable in their own, maybe fundamental analysis. I've done that too. I was a broker for many years, and that's how when I first started was fundamental analysis. The problem being is that you don't sometimes have no way of really knowing what's going to happen as far as earnings and as far as projections and all these balance sheets and what they're doing and whether or not something is going to be adopted well. And then you have the Dow, and that's 30 stocks to analyze. So unless you're really, really, proficient in knowing every single stock in there, how is that going to weight? And they're all weighted different in the average. Anyway, here, I think what we're seeing in the Dow is what we've been talking about for some time, that we were starting to see some potential for some swing failure or some issues of the strength of the main trend. Now, keep in mind, we talked about our targets here quite some time ago. We talked about this move that we felt would come into the 17,350, maybe 17,360 was our target. Well, that hit our target, hit 17,350, and we've been trading down ever since. We've talked about that. And we also talked about 17,000 being very, very significant to justify the rally back up. Now, look at what happened the prior day here. The prior high was 17,006.91. So not a real breakthrough 90 through 17,000. 9 points is not a trend break. And you look, if you're just to draw your trend lines off here, you're still, even if we drew it a little tighter, you're still seeing kind of prices holding that trend line. And then what we saw here when we were looking at it, this was very, very crucial. And in reality, I had no idea whether it was going to just kind of recover or not. But my concern has been, and why I've been betting to the downside, was a lot of this bearish tone that's been happening. Every time we've been seeing a swing, it's been pretty huge. Look at the bars here. Look at the size. This is a negative bar, right? Okay, here's another negative bar. Look at the size of them. Okay, we see another positive bar. It's not even close to the size in the other ones. Look at another huge negative bar. And then we see this big up move here. Now, this was a rally off when you think about it. Look at the length of the move. But when we saw when we look at this in another point, we see the initial down move. We see only a quick up move again. Then we see the down move, another quick up, and now what are we seeing? Another down move. This, to me, is real trouble, or could be real big trouble, unless we get up over 17,000 and serious breakthrough the 17, say 180 range. A serious break. I am not bullish on the market. I think that this could be a setup sign of a very, very big decline that could start to happen in the marketplace. Keep in mind, it was down 334 points today, 335 basically, and it took away everything of the prior day. Now, that's what happened the prior day. Now, that's why everybody has to, they kind of look and say, whoa, are we going to come back up? And the reason why I gave it so much vigilance is because it's up and over. It recovered all the prior action the prior day. It's up above the 50% retracement range. It's above all your averages, and the trend has been up so far. So you have to honor that fact and to say, okay, hey, you know what? We can head back up. That's certainly potential. But what do I always say? confirmation. You need to see it validate. Plus, you need to see it break through significant ranges. So two things didn't happen. First, we didn't get the confirmation of a break over 17,000. Second of all, it took over the prior day. What was the prior bar, though? Prior bar was down. What was the prior action? Down. We see and now what happened now? We see another down bar. I think we're going to see a very dramatic potential move in the overall market, and it could be even action similar to 1929 like in force. I believe that is a possibility, that we could see acceleration type trend movements that could start to happen.